Good morning, Ramon. Happy Tuesday. We are here. We changed it up. We're here every day now for you to get all of your sports betting needs out of the way here. We got some big news, Ramon, right? I mean, everyone saw it last night. It was Aaron Rodgers went down, probably with an Achilles, probably out for the season. You knew that when he sat down on the ground, right? He's played with lots of ankle injuries before, that it was something a little bit different. And I'm just saying, I'm totally bummed. I was looking forward to that matchup. And then, of course, now we have the Jets in prime time, at least 6 times going forward without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, the conspirators were, out in force for the first few seconds in the X sphere. Does anybody even know what am I saying?
Yes,
as he went to the ground, right? But they know, a professional athlete knows. We all know something's gone wrong. It just didn't look right at all. We're begging for that news to be right. I even put in the, you hear a guy, I follow the crazy doctor, and he had come out right away on Twitter saying, looks like an Achilles. This guy's not really, maybe he's an eccentric personality, but this guy's usually right. And sure enough, the Jets were kind of hiding it a little bit, but it did look like that crazy sequence where even that man may have been telling the team owner because of the reaction from Johnson there, made for an interesting visual, but it did look like maybe he was actually getting the news that there was maybe something serious in that whole situation. So it just took away from a great weekend because it looked there's some incredible storylines. This is already going to be a wild season, and we needed those Jets to be part of the equation because the build up of the season,
the most anticipated NFL storyline in a while, I think. No,
yeah, and again, I mean, it felt like somewhere it's going to end in a thump for the New York Jets, even with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, there are a lot of good football teams out there. Right. The Buffalo Bills are one of them, even with the turnover machine. They were able to still get it done, but you wanted this to be, a situation where one more piece to the puzzle. And so the Jets, I don't know if they can do it really with Wilson. So will they make a move? Can they make a move? Do they think that Wilson
knows who's out there?
Experience? So
right.
There's a lot of names actually, Mindy, but
Ben Roethlisberger, I saw, Tom Brady, all of them, yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, an excuse for every one of them right now. I mean, I could give you an excuse why each and every one name you mentioned will not be the next quarterback of the New York Jets. It could be someone a less marginalizing. I feel a little bit one of the, a Dalton or something to that effect. But maybe they feel like Wilson has enough experience. I mean, he did make a couple of plays, but it wouldn't be enough, it looks like. And you don't want to miss the opportunity with all that talent to at least try to have some chance here. But the Dolphins, they're in a good position now, all of it, especially if Allen plays. I said it on the show yesterday, Mindy. The first 3 words out of my mouth was something about stock, arrows, and down, and Allen. And that continues to be the case. I mean, this guy can't, keep possession and keeps the opponent in the game. And they got a really good team with a good defense.
Well, I mean, it's one of those, I feel like the defensive really, only tripped him up there on that one little out pass, right? That was going to Davis. Other than that, it was terrible decision-making by Allen throwing into double or triple coverage on those bombs. So it was really interesting, I thought, how that whole thing went down yesterday.
Yeah, I never have a problem with the deep one, the first interception, actually. That some people, people kind of forget. He had 3 interceptions. We saw them all, but the first one was just a punt, basically. But still, that's where the problem lies. It looks like for Buffalo. He covers it up with some other things that he can do. So Buffalo wins that big game, but with the emotion of the game leading up, and to have that happen, and it just so suddenly, really, I mean, it just was a stunner. I mean, the way it went down. Hi, everybody. Mindy and I are talking about the game. How are you guys doing? I see the comments here. Welcome to everybody. I see some new folks with us today. Mindy here for the morning's team. Yes, on a Tuesday. How about that? We're here for the first time with our Monday through Friday format with Mindy. So Ron's here.
Ron did a double check there in the Discord. He's like, "Are you sure you guys are on today?" Positive.
No, there was really no middle of the night sports action. I didn't know what to do, so just after the game, just go back to normal.
Watch the Mariners lose is what I did. Ew.
Oh boy. Well, we didn't even talk about any of this baseball, but we're talking about 5 Major League Baseball games today. Mindy, 5 good games that we've picked out for the show today. We're trimming it down for sure. Each game is going to involve at least one playoff team. We did see some interesting results yesterday, certainly with the baseball games, and some. We'll talk about the 5 games today. Hey, this is Black Hall Bully. Welcome. Good morning. Nice to have you. So maybe a first-time commenter and maybe a listener before and knows Team Steam. So hashtag Team Steam. Maybe that could be something. I don't know. I don't think there's as many. I don't know if our group is really. There's some social media-based people in our chat that are on there, but I don't know if there's enough. Even though
get us trending.
Yeah, Team Steam, hashtag Team Steam. There's a thing with a contest. You can have everyone type in hashtag Team Steam, and then everybody's name flashes on the screen, and then you give the winner a prize. But we don't have any prizes. Right. I was hoping maybe Blake could come in and get us some. Remember when we talked about that last year? I mean, I had to look it up, and I was like, but hey, look at everybody doing this Peruvian herbal tea drink that makes you hallucinate a little bit, and was hoping, we're praying that maybe Rogers can do that. Maybe that makes your injury go away, but not an Achilles injury.
Yeah, especially if they got to reattach it. Who did that? McNabb, right? McNabb had the.
So what's gonna, right? That's the other, we're talking about the season and where the jet and the story and the NFL. What's gonna? But I mean, Aaron Rodgers is that it? Is that it? Was that the last? Was it we saw right there? Aaron Rodgers on the turf, putting his butt back on the turf because he had to be helped off the field. And all right, let's go over to real quick. Tony'sPicks.com, our premium picks for today, Major League Baseball, and many of the WNBA playoffs are getting underway certainly tomorrow, and we'll be previewing those games when they come. But just want to let everybody know what's going on. It's pretty much just baseball today. If I can tell anybody else of what to bet on, I mean, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about 10 college football games from the early portion of the card, the first 2 time segments, if you will. Interestingly, I'm sure you saw this when you were going down the card this week. There's no real blockbuster games. College football, we do love it, right? No problem.
Whatever they want. No Texas, Alabama. That's what you're saying.
Whatever they want to give us, right? That's fine. But Pravi was number 1 yesterday with some heavy volume. Ralph Raymond, also a good day, 5-2. The GM on a roll here. Must be all focused on those games because he can't miss right now. Last couple of days. Hollywood Sam 1-0, Daniel Wolosachuk 1-0, and I just went with one play, Monday Night Football. Like to play so much on the show with the under that I had to do it again with the premiums. Look, I mean, Mindy, the final results are in for week 1.
You said 12-4 to the under.
12-4 to the under. Guess what? 12. Okay, so 12-4 to the under, Mindy.
Yeah, 12-4 to the under.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what else?
What?
Underdogs. 13-3 against the spread.
13-3.
What do we? So there's a guy who has quite a view about Vegas out here. Quite a view about Vegas.
Who? His name's Ramon?
No, it's a famous handicapper. I'm just not going to say his name. He's too famous. But he's got a view of Vegas, and he'll just tell you point blank. He just says, you could just take the dogs and under and just, not even worry about a thing, especially in the NFL. 13-3 were underdogs against the spread this week. The unders were 12-4. Now that is exciting that underdogs are winning. You don't want those. Remember, we already talked about the total, not the totals, the scores of the games being down 9 points in 2 years.
That's insane.
And that was, where have you seen the NFL scoreboard littered with games in the team? Not littered, but there were several teams that didn't score 20 points. All right. So I have the total under. I like the total under. You gave out the Bills. Look, I don't know if the Bills. I think they'll continue.
The Bills might have been okay minus 4 turnovers.
Oh, right. What would the score?
Chances to win that game?
What would the score have been if Rodgers would have played the game? I mean, would he have gone and had a terrible game too?
I don't know.
The Jets.
I don't know if it would have made. Maybe there would have been more focus for Allen. I don't know. I don't know.
Joseph Schultz, Tony T 2-1, Collins Brown 4-3 over the
I
last.
went with the Cubs under, so I have at least one.
Okay. Okay. Cubs Rockies under. I gave that out on the show, and you went with
did.
it too. It has been so solid to go with those Cubs unders. And Collins Brown here over last week, 24-13. Mindy, 32-23 over the last 7 days. Good job.
Thank you.
Ralph Raymond also clicking 60%. Tiffany's up there, 21-13. Sean Dinwiddie, 11-6. Got some good handicappers going on. Collins Brown leads the way over the last 30 days. Nick Bartini up 10 units, and I'm up there, 9.5 units over the last 30 days. And Tony is up nearly 7 units over the last 7 days. So check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. You'll find our premium picks. It's going to be about baseball today. And, well, the doubleheaders are hard. I'm glad we're not previewing on the show, but I'm glad we have extra baseball today with some early action with our 2 doubleheaders today, Mindy, with those rainouts yesterday. All right, our crew has some 3-packs up there. Ben Ruhala, Taco Tuesday, going to be on those dogs. Find out which ones. That's the hard part when picking the underdogs. Ben Ruhala's got you covered there. Not guaranteed they're underdogs. I'm just saying we know what Ben's been up to. We follow him. We're
right.
Call us fans. Tony T, $15 best bet up there today. Joseph Schultz as well has a $15 best bet, and Daniel has a $15 play in Major League Baseball. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. Nick Lagaretos has MLB play as well. I don't know if he has any soccer. I was talking about other things we could find out. There's some Euro qualifying. There's some South American World Cup qualifying. There's some contender series. Not much. We're going to talk about baseball right now. Mindy and I are going to give you some free winners, but we'll have our premium picks over here at Tony's Picks. All right. A few more people say hi to, and then we're going to get started with these games. Frederick Lundy is here today as well. Nice to have Frederick. Ray Otachi. All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We got a 50 spot in here, Mindy. That'll work to get the show started with our 4 games. I hope I have the order right. A little bit out of sync.
Not, it's okay. We can adjust.
Right. Well, I was thinking a little bit out of sync. This is kind of our first show with the reduced baseball. Let's got to get started with our football coverage for this weekend. All right. The Braves. Hey, all right, you picked a great game here for sure. Good game. Let's say good game with Braves and Phillies, with Braves getting back to some of their good pitching again. Max Fried, Zach Wheeler at least is at home here. And the Braves, I think this is the price, currently at $1.20, and the total 8.5 over 20 now. It's gone up just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can't go against Fried right now, especially the way that the Braves have been playing. Won 3 of their last 4 now, putting up 17 runs there in that game. And in those games, Phillies have been totally opposite. Lost 3 of their last 5 here lately, struggling offensively. And then you got to go up against a guy with a 1.73 ERA. Give me the Braves here in this one. I think we're going to gain a little bit of ground here on the Phillies today.
All right, take the Braves. Mindy says with Fried, he's won each of his last 3 starts, and Wheeler also. These 2 guys have been sharp right now. Both guys have had lengthy histories against the opponent. If you look at the splits, to me, Fried has had his share of difficulties in Philadelphia, while Wheeler has had good success at home against the Braves. But these guys are veterans, so there's been a little bit of turnover. These guys have outlasted much of the rosters a little bit. Not all of them. I mean, there's definitely some familiar matchups for these guys, given their point in their careers. Yesterday, Mindy, I called for an under in both games, and there turned out to be 30 runs scored in the 2 games combined. So I'm going to, even with these pitchers, I see that 8.5. To me, if you just, I would think, I'm playing the market read here. I feel like in this one, because there isn't a lot to be, other than with the fact that Wheeler's gone over in 5 straight, and the Braves 5 straight home starts. And the Braves have gone over in 7 of their last 10, and Fried has gone over in 5 of his last 6 starts. I would think the total might actually be a little lower. I'm not even getting the price that I want. I wanted to go over. I'm still going to go over in this game, even with these good pitchers. I know I was watching some less quality pitching. It just seemed like the ball was being bashed around there a little bit yesterday, and this is an explosive series. So we'll see. They need both these guys to be ready for the postseason. Looks like they are. And, these guys, this feels like, kind of a playoff matchup right here today. I would say you are probably getting it feels like a good price on the Braves. It feels like that $1.20 would be my value side, not a proven. Well, no, I think Atlanta did open a little bit higher, actually. Maybe as high as $1.30 or so. Okay, well, a little bit of value there. Okay, all right. From the comment from the chat, we'll definitely include you guys today with 5 games. And it looks like Black Hall Bully here today going under and taking the Phillies. Bully, where you been? Have we met under other circumstances, maybe?
I don't know. We'll see.
And Brent says Braves. Why not take the Braves? Right? Can't get the Braves at prices like this too often. Ray says Phillies. And yeah. Yeah, there's some more realistic quarterback options for the Jets than all these guys that are being tossed about, and they're not.
I always instantly you see Tom Brady in a Jets uniform. Like, I love all that stuff that they. Where I love it, where it says the Giants are eliminated. It always just cracks me up.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying less dramatic. Like, right, it's not gonna have nothing like.
Right, we know,
but it's gonna be someone you're gonna be like, this retread. Oh my god! And then you'll go out there and have these games where you're like, oh well, whatever. They don't have Aaron Rodgers. All right. Philly today in the over. All right. Here we have the Diamondbacks on the road here against the Mets. They got it done yesterday with Davies, Mindy. Look, Arizona right now, they're definitely playing well when they need to. Is it a pick'em really right now? Let me take a look at that. Yeah, sure. 9.5 over 15. It's a pick'em here. Wow. Oh, 9.5 over 15, though. It has gone down. Total's gone down. Go ahead.
Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and go back on the Diamondbacks for game 2. I actually thought it might have been the Mets play yesterday, sitting there, minus 145. I didn't think the price was too bad, especially the way that the Diamondbacks have been playing. I mean, they dropped from being ninth in the majors to now they're sitting at about 13th in the majors in batting average. So it's been one of those that they've been on that kind of decline, but still, struggling, hanging in there for a wild card spot. Nelson is on the mound, and I know that he hasn't been playing well as of late, but his ERA on the splits are pretty good. 3.18 averages 7 Ks per 9. Doesn't really allow the long ball much. And I know that Butto, he's probably played a little bit better as well on his splits, but his elevated ERA is still up there, 7.08 overall, 6.14. And again, I just kind of feel like that the Mets have been also competitive as of late, but I think pitching kind of wins today here for this Diamondbacks team.
Yeah, it's hard for me to want to go against the Diamondbacks here. Nelson, though, you mentioned, of late, not great, but if those splits are good, Arizona's won 6 of their last 8, and the Mets have lost 4 of 5 again all of a sudden. But, man, and it seems like just a good price here. I want to trust the Diamondbacks in this spot against, look, Nelson, say what you will about it, but Butto's an unproven commodity just because he had this early success here a little bit. Now he's going up. Yeah, maybe the Diamondbacks offense hasn't been producing enough, but again, they're winning right now at this clutch moment on the road when they need to. That's definitely something to take note. I mean, we just talked about it a week ago that there were 4 teams battling, for this wild card spot, and all of a sudden, the way it's gone down, Arizona has grabbed it by the heels a little bit and have moved a game and a half ahead of Miami, San Francisco, and Cincinnati. So good job by them. I'm gonna agree with. I know the computer here. Whatever this algorithm of mine is saying, I just got to disagree. I mean, it's going with the Mets. I'm going with the eye test here, Mindy. I've got to go with Arizona right now. I've got at least a commodity, not a proven commodity, not a championship commodity, but in Nelson, a guy that at least has a more experience here than Butto. He did get shelled against the Mets already, but I'm gonna have to go with the Arizona, playing better right now. I think Nelson can have a good start. Okay. Anything from the chat here in this ball game? We'll see. It doesn't look like we're too thrilled. Ray says Diamondbacks. And Brent, he's got the old Passola. Bionics on the Mets. Life is too short to pass.
You need to remember that, Ramon.
Is that is that another? Did we just make another T-shirt? Would anybody wear? I don't think anybody would wear that, but me, and no one would know what it meant. But all right. Next up is Rangers and the Blue Jays with Max on the road. Big game. Hyunjin Ryu on the comeback. And Max is favored just $1.15. 8.5 under 15. Ryu's been good. The numbers are good. What does it say underneath?
Yeah, I mean, I think his numbers have looked really good, right? Especially the splits. 3.6 ERA, 1.8 home runs per 9. Scherzer, the one that gives up the long ball, 3 home runs per 9 innings, but of course has the big strikeout numbers, 10.4 Ks per 9. But Scherzer lately, he's been sitting in the 4s in his last, 4 or 5 starts here. Mm-hmm. And I still kind of feel like it's been Texas' inability to close out games, but they did get it done in those late innings there yesterday. So I'm thinking that Ryu, even though he's limited, I think the bullpen for Toronto sitting at 3.59 compared to that 4.89 helps win this one today for the Blue Jays.
Wow. Okay. Well, maybe, because look, I've already seen cappers kind of coming in on the Blue Jays. It caught me by surprise. I want to think that Max can have a good game and, keep him in there, especially at a reasonable price. This is what you got him for. But Ryu, maybe he has been good enough now. I think he's kind of tailed off a little bit here. I don't know. So I hope it's not a fatigue situation in this one, but might be. I don't know. Yeah, 4.2.
Because they have limited his innings. You know what I mean? I feel like they have one. So I don't know.
And again, you still have the, Blue Jays having won 9 of their last 13 in Texas has been in this disastrous tailspin right now. I mean, I guess I should, I guess everybody leads with that. I mean, that's what's been going on. And now Texas hanging on with that half a game edge over Seattle right now, but they're only a half a game back at Toronto. So this is a big game. This is about as big as it gets on this card today for sure. So I can appreciate the play. I want to trust Max here, but I actually think that it's going to get a little loose once they get out of it. I know your credits of the bullpens, and yeah, maybe these 2 bullpens, but I'm going to be on the over here. I'm feeling very contrarian here in this one on the show. I'm going over even at 8.5 with Max and Ryu. Chat way more interested in this game, it looks like. Solos on the Rangers. This is the game of the day. Make no mistake. James Avery here under. Bully says Rangers. Perky's on the Rangers max play. There is Rangers support here, it looks like, for a team that, what can you say? I mean, the bats were out yesterday, so that's one thing to throw in. I mean, come into town, frustrated team, trying to find their way, and they bashed for 10 runs against Bassett, right? Against Bassett. So I kind of want to trust them again. Maybe I will, but I'll go over 14 runs yesterday. Again, I'm watched yesterday, and now I've got better pitching, but I'm going over. And here's Bionic on the Jays. I think we got everybody's plays in on that one. Mindy on the Jays. I'm on the over. Marlins and Brewers. Also pretty good matchup here, certainly. Playoff teams, if you can. Miami, they're falling out of it a little bit right now, but it certainly still is an important game. And let's see what the price is here. We got 165 now for Milwaukee, 8 over 15 against Chargois. Chargois.
But the Brewers totally crushed them yesterday. I mean, they got to the starting pitching. Then they got to the bullpen. I mean, they put up 6 runs there. Brewers kind of remind me of the Brewers, how they started off the season. Maybe they're kind of all gelling at a really good time right now. They got to keep pace with the Cubs. And the Cubs have a nice series right now. So I think the Brewers get this one done here today. They've won 3 of their last 5 as well. Marlins, they've been playing well. 8 of 10 are winners there. But they just aren't scoring the runs. You're looking at the Milwaukee team that's put up 20 compared to a Marlins team that put up 12. So I'm going here with the Brewers again, sitting at minus 160, 170. So
I hope I'll leave it up here. No, I'll leave the 170. I think we're going to find a better price than this when we do it. I'll take the Brewers with you. We had them yesterday. Yeah, felt dirty. I mean, we're taking a big price on them, but they crushed them. What happened? Jesus Luzardo. Brewers maybe in that form. Miami, like I said, Miami needs every win as well. It means more to Miami right now than it does to Milwaukee. Sure, Milwaukee wants to. I mean but they're they're comfortable. Well, not welcome, but they're ahead, and the Cubs, and they still could fall back into a while. They're more comfortable, if you will. So it's still important for both teams, and for whatever reason, Miami 12-0 was the score in that game yesterday. Wow.
Yeah, brutal.
Okay, yeah. Black Hall Bully on the Brew Crew. What is that? What does the Black Hall Bully mean? Black Hall Bully's new, so I have all these. I have questions. Mindy, I have questions. Let's see here. Frederick wants to get that Nerfy information. Well, with Chargois, it's incomplete. For me, incomplete. Incomplete result for Chargois. Peralta, he's allowed a run in the first inning in 6 of 27 games. So let's see. And Jacoby here says Brew Crew on the run line. And Clyde says, give me the Marlins. And Clyde, I thought about Clyde when the Steelers, they laid an egg in the opener. But I think we'd trust the Steelers to be real interesting to see what happens next week.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the heads will roll if they don't do something, right?
Well, you're not gonna roll the,
Well, I mean,
like Tomlin's gonna roll, right? He's gonna make. Well, okay. Jay Green, hey, Jay Green's here and he's got the under. All right. Yeah, change it. You're right. Pick it. Look, I mean, I don't think. All of a sudden, I want to talk about Kenny Pickett. We better keep moving. We just wanted him to be decent. I mean, we didn't. We weren't bringing it. All right, here's the Rays and the Twins.
Niners defense is just tough. What can you say?
That's right. Let's be honest here. We got Rays.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to win in the NFL. Like it's hard to win. I think people just think that teams should just roll all the time.
Next week, how many teams? I hope I can find my way to those teams I'm supposed to find my way to, Mindy, that lost in week 1, especially those teams, some of those. Look, there were a lot of, like I said, a lot of home favorites lost. What are you going to do with them next week when they go when most of them are going on the road and they're downgraded by a couple of points, and maybe the other team is the opposite. They were one of those road teams going home. There's a lot of that next week. And then we have another playoff type matchup anyway with the Rays and the Twins in this one. So here with Littell and Joe Ryan. And Littell, Ryan, $1.30, 8.5 under 25.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and go back on the Rays here again. I feel like they're hitting a little bit of a stride this week. They kind of gave it to the Mariners. I just kind of feel like they have, starting pitching that can get this done. They also have the better bullpen. They're averaging more runs. They're allowing less runs than their opponent. I think everything is in favor in this game. Plus, I know some of the chat, they're not exactly Joe Ryan fans out here, even though I think he's been doing a little bit better. But I think I'm going to go ahead and take the underdog here in this one. A little bit of plus money with the Rays today.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, Ryan's been bad again, but here you get $1.25, $1.30 or so. Mindy on the Rays here with Littell. He's all 4.88 in his last 4 starts, but Ryan 5.21 in his last 4 starts. Twins have won 6 of 9, but the Rays have won 17 of 23. Yeah. Steam came in on the Twins and the under. I'm going to go under in this one. Yeah, maybe the pitching has been bad for these two guys, but I'm going to take it under 8.5 here on the show. For me, anyway. Can't give any trends. It would say, if I gave you the trends, they'd all say over.
They'd all say over.
They would, no doubt. But I'll be on the under. If it's 8.5 under 25, that's going to be good enough for me. This is just play with my computer telling me it's under. See what the chat has to say here. And we have Rays for another max play for Perky. So I don't know. He's going to have to take out a loan because he's already got 2 max plays now. Oh, okay. No, he's got his top unit play. I get it. Top unit play for a baseball game in September, or am I going NFL, money? Blackhall on the Rays. Great contributions today. Blackhall. Miguel here today. Miguel Guerra. How about Curb and Cardi joining us? And here's Jacoby on the under in this one. Ray says the Rays. Brent on the Rays with you, Mindy. Looks like you got them to agree. No. I'm going to go with the under here. So hopefully, let's see. We got another. Do we have another? Was that it? Oh, that was it. Oh no, we're out of baseball games.
That was it. That was it. We might have to do more in the future, so we have more plays to get through.
Oh, no, that's prime I'm teasing you. Come on, what are you going to do? Oh, all right, Mindy. The Royals and the White Sox play a doubleheader today. Let's break it down. Royals and the White Sox doubleheader.
Oh, boy. Do we have to?
Jordan Lyles. Oh, let me. I'm making jokes here, but one game I'm going to tell everybody about.
The trash man's here. The dogs are going to go crazy.
No problem. I'll cover this. We won't have any picks right now while the dogs are going crazy. But one game of note today, Mindy. I don't know if you have a reaction or not. We're not going to pick it, but John Means makes his return. This is big news because Baltimore. Man, imagine if John Means could come back and be any kind of John Means. He's going up against Wayne, which also makes it interesting. But it's the Orioles are going to be. I think the line wasn't even out yet. Quite. Oh no, he was like Means is $1.90 favorite. But if they could get it, I didn't even check to see if he's on a pitch count or anything like that. I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, you're gonna if he's strong enough, he's gonna at least be. They're gonna use him in the postseason, I would think. All right.
Thomas Lewis is cracking me up. The feds are at the door, Mindy. It's the suits.
You're sitting on those mattresses full of money,
right?
All right. We're going to get to college football now. Hopefully you guys are ready. We've got 10 games for you. They're from the early slate. They can't all be beauties, but we do want to talk about some of the best teams in the country, certainly. And that's what we're going to do to start it off when we talk about the Florida State Seminoles taking on Boston College. They are nearly 4-touchdown favorites, but boy, it's good to have the Seminoles back again. And, as one of the top teams in the country here. This one I've seen as low as 25. I've seen it as high already as 29. And we had a good time. I had a good time, Mindy, on the show on Sunday. I'm still going to do that. But this one is lower than that opener, certainly, 26.5. Maybe the value's on Florida State here. And this total has been an absolute dropper. When we talked about it on the show, reading right off the line screen at Circa, the total was 54.5. It went up to 56.5. It's down here to 48.
48? Oh, my goodness. Talk about a move.
49. It is 49.5 right now at some books, but it doesn't matter. That's still
it's still a touchdown.
Big drop. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty crazy. It's wild. Well, I mean, Boston College has not been playing well, no matter how you look at it, right? I mean, they've just lost the first one, barely won the second one. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with Florida State here. I think they win this one by 30 plus. It's probably one of those that winds up being a little bit close, with laying the big spread here, but I think I got to go with Florida State here to cover this one. They've been putting up just an absolute ton of yards in their first couple games here. 554 yards of offense, 360 rushing a game. It's pretty good.
Yeah, averaging, what are they averaging? 50, 55, whatever it is. Half double nickel. Maybe they're averaging a double nickel. Maybe Boston College can reel it in a little bit here. Like I said, down to open 28 on those opening lines. I respect those guys. The reason why we go with that Circa move is because the limits are higher than we've ever seen. In the history of live, actual opening line gambling. That's what they pride themselves on. Why wouldn't you respect the opening moves into these lines? So now that's down to 26.5. Maybe there's something to this with Boston College. Maybe to me, there's something with this on the under to me is with that. I can't look. I mean, I'm slow to the. I don't know which way it's going. I don't know that. Yeah, I mean, my numbers were indicating I want to get on an under this game right away. I was, but I'll have to do it on the show now because I've lost all the value. I don't think I can go premium. Could have gave it out at a bigger number, I guess. I'm not looking at it like that. I don't like to look at it like that. We'll say these two teams combined are 4-0 to the over in the two games thus far. But we know, Boston College 0-2 against the spread. Mindy, how'd you, and FSU covered both games. So, all right, let's see if there's any comments here. Black Hall Bully, Florida State. And we're going to need you. Oh, Thomas is on the Seminoles as well. Doubles likes the over now. For sure. Well, I don't even, maybe he liked it before too, but I feel like Doubles is making the, logical call. I think it's Florida State dominates, gets it done, but Black Hall's got him shooting through the roof here against Boston College. I'm giving Boston College a little bit. I'm going to be, yeah. I'm in the, kind of 35-14 camp type of. That's still, that wouldn't hit me. That wouldn't take it under. I'd have to go under that 31-10. All right, let's move on, Mindy, with more college football action and a game. Oh boy! All right, we're looking at Kansas State here, a 5-point favorite at Missouri, and the total here 48.5.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, right? Because I really thought Missouri would just handle. Who did they play? Middle Tennessee, right? And they had played Alabama the week before. So I thought there was going to be a pretty beat up team after playing Alabama. I thought Missouri would just go ahead and outright cover that one, the -21, pretty easy, but just didn't happen that way. I mean, it was Missouri let that one in. I kind of feel like I got Kansas State in this one covering, only because Missouri did not impress me offensively like I expected them to. They're still sitting at 10th in the SEC, and then you got a number 3 Kansas State team in the Big 12. I think they cover the small spread here at 5. I have it kind of right on the number, but I'm going to lean it to Kansas State here.
Oh, I'm also leaning, but it's so close. I mean, just because the thing for me about the lean to K-State is the fact that it is under 6, and that might be about it. I mean, that's what it feels like to me. K-State did get the money in both of their first 2 games, and Missouri did not. So I will say that Missouri has it's a good defense. It's good. It's a good defense. It's a good defense, and this total is too high. I'm going to go. Oh boy, I want to take K-State here with you. I worry about Missouri's offense is an issue. I mean, that's the deal here. That's why it is going to be. I mean, this game is going to be. I would think this game is going to land. It's going to be 40 or less. It feels like to me, quite honestly, and that hurts the chances for a road favorite. It feels like to me to cover the number. But man, if you're on them, I'm on them. I feel like you're.
Are we doing it? I feel like you're a little bit unsure yet.
Oh yeah, no, I'm real unsure. Let me go to the chat.
All right.
Let's go to the chat. We gotta, we're gonna be covering 10 more games tomorrow. We don't know what's going on here. And, all right, K-State for Black Hall Bully on K-State. I'll end up being on K-State because our only chat contributors are going to say K-State. Why? This is the morning steam show. It's supposed to be you and I in the chat. Right. I've got the ever so slightest of lead. I actually, some of the it models out a little bit higher. There were some lower openers than this.
I literally have it at like a 4.59. That's how close it is.
Oh, so you're really, but you're
really right on the number.
But you're throwing.
I'm throwing it over the top there for
you, like Kansas State. Like you said, you have questions with the Missouri offense here. Yes. I have a feeling there could be a lower number that we might even be able to find a 4.5 out there. We're gonna leave it at 5. I think it's mostly 5 most places. I do see some 4.5s, so I'm sure we can find it. All right, let's do it.
Are we doing it?
All right. I think it's obvious to everyone. I think this game's over. Under big time. I just feel like this is going to be an under game here. right now. That's, but Kansas State, they're going to win. They're going to win.
They're going to do it.
Feels like it's too low scoring to me. So, what's it going to be? 24 to 17 would get it home and get me under 24 to 17. Could it be right around there? That's what I'm going to say. 24-17. All right, let's do it. Gimbal! Penn State. Penn State and Illinois here, Mindy, with Penn State. A little bit of a 14.5. I think that was the general opener that I have seen. Did see as low as 11.5 and as high as 16. But I think this is what you're going to be dealing with here this week. Got that hook on there, though. And the total here at 49. This one did open at circa 45.5, was bet up to 50, and now is 49.
Yeah, that extra half or a point might come into play in this one. It's hard to tell, right? It's, Penn State has the ability to blow the doors pretty much off of anyone there for the most part, but it's one of those that Illinois usually covers the double-digit spreads, but I'm not so sure. Illinois so far has just not impressed me. They just look slow and not really going out of the gate. You got Penn State ranked 3rd in the Big 14, Illinois ranked 10th in the Big 14. I think I got to go ahead and take Penn State in this one. I got Penn State winning by about 19, so it gives me a little bit of room in there. Still hate these big spreads, but it looks like I got a modeling giving me about 3 touchdowns, so I'm going Penn State.
Fair enough. Illinois didn't get the money in either of the first 2 games, and Penn State did. Penn State allowing 11 points per game so far. So they'll probably come. Maybe the spread can keep me on Illinois. I like another under, of course. So I better just stick with that. They've over so far. They went over, and both of them went over. Well, I think Illinois might have had a push. Some people might have gotten an over in that. I don't think too many of the numbers went under, but I think mostly was regarded as a push. So, it's gone up, and I'm not sure. I don't know if Penn State's going to rack up big-time points here on the road. I'm on the under here in this one. I know they're averaging 50, but I mean, again, we're in conference here. This is the Big 14 after all.
The Big 14.
It's gonna be hard to figure out who's in the. It's hard enough to figure out now when some of these teams are moving from conference to conference.
Right.
Now, when we get these pack teams in here, what's gonna happen? All right, let's take a look at. Let me get everybody in here. Thomas is on Penn State with you here, Mindy, and looks like Blackhall Bully as well. So. Looks like the chat's pretty much on the favorites here. Well, it's Thomas and Blackhall. So thank you guys for being our contributors on these videos. LSU at Mississippi State should be fun. LSU they did sneak up to just a 10-point favorite. They opened around 8.5. Did see as low as 7. Was as high as 10, but now mostly 9.5 here. The total opened 49.5, quickly opened to 52. I've seen as high as 58.5, and then bought way back down here to 53.5. Now is where it's settled.
Well, I give Louisville. Oh, not Louisville. LSU. Goodness. Louisville is right above LSU on my page. That's why I said it. But I got LSU. I give them an 80.1% chance of winning this one. 11.96 is what I have in there. So I only got about 2 points of room, but I think that's enough. Mississippi State here ranking 12th in the SEC, LSU about 6. Kind of where I put these guys statistically in their rankings. I'm going to go ahead and say LSU covers this one. They got a little bit to prove from not covering their last time.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. That's the way I feel as well. I think they can get this number. I think they can win by double digits. Look, the widely reported steam came in on Mississippi State. So far, Mississippi State looked pretty good defensively. How will it transpire against LSU now? With LSU, mired in 14th or so in the rankings, but I would think 2-touchdown win here for LSU. The way I see it, I think their defense will do. It'll be the defense for me here that gets it done for LSU, that gets that money, I think, and keeps this game probably keeps the game into the 40s here. Mississippi State will have a hard time. Mississippi State's 0-2 to the under so far. LSU went over in both, and LSU, of course, you mentioned they still. Yeah, they're bitter. I like that. I like that. Let's take them. Let's take the Tigers in this one.
All right, LSU.
Yeah, I'll lay these road points.
Okay.
Black Hawk Bully on LSU. All right, and thank you, Bully. Central Michigan and Notre Dame here. Notre Dame a 5-touchdown favorite, and the total is 54.5.
And I feel like this Notre Dame team, I feel like they're going to be good. I feel like they're kind of a little bit of slow starters. They had a rough time there versus Wolfpack last time. I thought NC State would probably get that money, but there they come rolling back in the second half of that game. Notre Dame, they've won 50 of 52 games versus non-ranked teams. They've covered in their last 6. But I think for me, I'm going to just go ahead and take over the total here. I think this point spread is too much. I probably want to go ahead and lean Central Michigan just because it's, the 5 touchdowns. But I just can't pull the trigger on that. But I do think that we're going to be able to get some scoring here. Notre Dame, their last 10 games have all gone over. I'm taking the over in this one.
Yeah. Imagine being a bookmaker and having to set a line on Notre Dame. They've already covered 3. You as a bookmaker, you don't want to see Notre Dame 3-0 against the spread already. Right. And that's really, Notre Dame, it's been, we've had our ups and downs if you're a Notre Dame fan, considering expectations every year. But right now, this is feeling pretty interesting. It feels like Notre Dame, look, if they're 3-0 against the spread, that means they're underrated, right? I mean, they're in the top 10 now in the country. And still, I agree with you. Maybe it's even going to go up, Minnie. And once it gets over 35.5, 30, probably going to find a way in there in Central Michigan somehow. But you think over, right? You said over?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm down with that. I mean, look, who's going to how are these guys going to stop Notre Dame at this point?
Yeah.
The only thing I see is that maybe Central Michigan could get some points if Notre Dame, like I said, in these type of games, you get a big enough cushion. Maybe Central Michigan that has actually put some points on the board in their first 2 games ends up, backdooring this somehow and ends up going over here in this one. Was open 56.5, so definitely getting the not the best price. It did go as low as 52.5, but I still think against that opening number, let's take the over. I agree. Over in Central Michigan and Notre Dame. And Black Hawk Bully likes the Fighting Irish. And Thomas says they might as well win big. Right? I almost like a Notre Dame team. There's always a certain amount of hype because if you follow Notre Dame, it's always about that. But it almost feels like don't forget about Notre Dame here. Right now, it feels like. All right. Well, let's hit the books with Northwestern and Notre Dame. And Duke. Duke favored here by 18 currently. Is that right? 18.5 in this one. And the total here is now 47.5.
Yeah, I just feel like there's just not enough offense for this Northwestern team right now to go out there and to try to beat Duke right now. I'm going to go ahead and take Duke. They were pretty impressive, I must say, opening up this season. In Northwestern, they just kind of failed to cover versus the ACC as well. Historically, there really isn't much there. But yeah, I just don't see any way that Northwestern can get the money here in this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the Duke Blue Devils.
Okay, Mindy, with taking Duke here against Northwestern, look, it's Northwestern. They have a lot of things going on still. I'm proud of them for what they've done here. I don't know if Duke is an overwhelming team to get a 3-touchdown win necessarily. Total sitting right in the middle of the window. It opened 52.5 and was bet down when we were on that show to 46.5, but now it's at 48.5, and there's been some buyback here to the over, which was the way that I was looking so far. Now Duke, I have them at 0-1, and I have them with an under and a push so far, but for me, I'm going to end up on the over in this one with Northwestern and Duke at 48.5. Maybe too many points. It is. Look, it opened 19.5, was as high as 21, now 18. The reported steam came in on the over. I'm going with the over. Yeah. Over for me with these two, Northwestern and Duke. Mindy takes Duke, lays the points. Thomas says, that's too many points. Give me Duke. He'll still do it, apparently. Black Hawk Bully says Duke. Or maybe when I said 21, he meant that's too many points. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. A couple more, Thomas. Okay, let's continue on. But hope I've got these right. I might have maybe messed up the order a little bit, Mindy, but they're all in the time frame, I think. Minnesota and North Carolina. I'm showing North Carolina a 7.5-point favorite. The total is 50.
Wow, this is crazy because I feel like why are these two teams even playing each other right now? You got Minnesota here with a really good defense, doesn't score much. North Carolina, I feel like they're going to be the better offensive team in this one. I actually have it ranked pretty close. It kind of surprised me a little bit here. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take North Carolina. I actually kind of have it right on the line. But I think I have a better chance than not to get North Carolina in that offense clicking versus a little bit of a unseasoned quarterback there for Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota 0-2 against the spread, despite their 2-0 record, right? Sometimes we like that angle because here you have 2-0 teams. Yeah, Carolina just 1-1 against the spread, but Minnesota didn't cover in either of those two games because probably the low scoring nature of both games going under. Why does this game? I mean, I know North Carolina has, can show explosiveness. There's still only a 7.5. It feels like our numbers are right on. And
and it kind of surprises me because I don't think of Minnesota being that explosive offensively. So my numbers are surprising me a little bit.
Oh no! Well, I'll tell you. So it opened 6.5, and now we're at the high of 7.5, and it was as low as 5. And so I agree. I like at 5, I'm probably on Carolina somehow. And now that we're dealing with one score game, which it feels like this is going to be, just going to back off with you a little bit, but feel like it's right there.
Yeah.
But it's under. I'm going to go with the under. Big time. I really like the under. Doesn't surprise anybody. I'm sure the reported steam came in on the over, so I'm happy about that. But it only opened 50.5 and was down to 49 and came back up to 50 on that steam. But I've got, quite frankly, Mindy got this one, maybe 10 points lower. I've got to be under here in this one. I think this Minnesota, I don't think there's some, secret defense, but I think in this matchup, they have enough defense. and I've got the under in this one. Mindy's on North Carolina, and Bully likes the Tar Heels, and Thomas likes Carolina. And this is what, Thomas, thank you so much for, he was with me on the weekends with, not many people making picks. So hope we haven't lost that part of the show, but I will say this, it does make the show go faster. All right, Mindy, here is.
Well, I think it's one of those two, not everyone has made it to Saturday yet, right?
It's Tuesday. I mean, even, look, we're on record. So, you're getting our best picks as far as what we feel about the game right now on a Tuesday with this line. And so we kind of talk about those things where you factor in injuries, but that's our job as handicappers. And when they always say things like, "Oh, well, with this injury, we can't do this and that," it's our job to decipher all that, Mindy, and figure out what's up with the replacement of the team or whatever's going to go on. We're not going to throw up our hands on a Tuesday. All right. On a Tuesday. Western Michigan and your Hawkeyes.
Hawkeyes, that's right. Suddenly the Iowa Hawkeyes seem to be maybe a passing team. I don't know what's going on here as of late, right? I mean, that's their goal, is to score 25 points a game. That's their goal. But I think Iowa just wins in a big rout here in this one versus Western Michigan. I think they win this one by 30 or 35, 40, pretty easy. Give me Iowa.
Whew. All right. You say
easy so. Money, Ramon. Easy money.
Okay. Well, I don't know if Chuck Hartlieb's going to come out here, or Chuck Long, or who else could we have come out here for passing quarterbacks?
I don't know. I can't name too many.
Stanzi. How about Stanzi? All right. Well, yeah, no, that's the way it's going. I mean, look at that total, 43. Come on. This is a new era. How things have changed in just a matter of look, it wasn't pretty. Both games have gone under so far. We made
Iowa covers this for themselves.
We had the under. I made you talk about the game. You were,
on my not feeling so good day.
Right, but it went. But you didn't need,
Yeah, it didn't take much to.
Glasses could have been fogged up. We had the under in that game. This one's going over. Yeah, there's a little bit different, Mindy, when you're playing your in-state rival, and then you're hosting a team like Western Michigan. Iowa's going to be able to score here. You just said they're going to win by 40, so that means they have to at least score 40. The total's 43.
Yeah,
this game's going over, Mindy. You take Iowa. I don't know if they'll cover 4 touchdowns. I'll take the over, though, if you're telling me. Both teams have went under in both games. Make no mistake. And we're talking about Iowa, and I'm sure that people are going to see that and go, here comes another Iowa game. But they're playing Western Michigan. They should be able to score against Western Michigan. I do. It opened 24.5. It's now 28.5. I've got it right in it's somewhere in there. It's a 4 touchdown game. I would think somewhere. Maybe it would be 24, 27, but whatever the case may be, I'll take over. You just told me I was scoring 40 points. So,
right. They're going to cover it themselves.
All I need is a touchdown from Western Michigan.
Maybe only 3 from Western Michigan.
No, that's right. I mean,
it's a Dallas Cowboys game.
They'll get a touchdown. They will get a touchdown. Iowa's going to get at least 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that the offense is pretty decent there. I think they should be able to score.
Like I said, you're playing Western Michigan here. You're not playing Iowa State. All right, Bully is on Iowa. Thomas Lewis's college football is fun. It is. It's totally fun. I can't get enough. I mean, it's and Saturdays are just crazy. Just crazy fun. All right, we got a couple more here, and you had to do it to me.
I did. Hey, we got some top 25 teams here playing, Ramon.
The thing about the thing about the Beavers here again, I mean, look, I get, things are going south here for San Diego State, but we're treating Oregon State. Okay, I get it. They're going to the big conferences now. They've got a good quarterback here. They're in the top. They're 15 now almost. This is just an amazing situation for Oregon State. How can you come along so quickly here? If it wasn't for teams like Colorado, we'd be talking about teams like Oregon State. Still, I don't know, Mindy. I've got to think. Go ahead. I don't know what I'm going to say.
I mean, this is crazy, Ramon. Where did Oregon State come from, right? I mean, suddenly they've been anointed, right, as the Pac-2 favorite, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, Oregon State, they have some numbers here that kind of back this up, right? They've won 13. They've covered the spread in each of their last 13 games at home. So that's a number that kind of worries me a little bit. I know that San Diego State doesn't necessarily play well on the road, but I mean, I only have Oregon State winning this one by like 14. I don't have it anywhere close to 25. I don't know how they're going to cover. How are they going to beat them by that many points, Ramon? I don't know, especially when I kind of feel like the tempo for San Diego State has been a little bit slow, right? We kind of talked about them last year a little bit slower, a little bit more methodical, running the ball. I got to take San Diego State in this one and those big points.
I'm going to do it as well. We'll take them. We'll take San Diego State. Maybe they will get blown out. I don't know. I do know they're not going to. They should not get blown out in this situation. They do have plenty of issues right now. The program does appear to be in a little bit of recline compared to just even the last couple of editions. Got bully on San Diego State here. And I don't know if there's a solution here moving forward with San Diego State necessarily, but you can't go in. You can't be losing this game by 4 touchdowns, by even 24 points. So I will take them with you here. Got it 3 touchdowns. I'm not saying it's they're overmatched, but you got to be able to hang in there in this one. And San Diego State, like many of my San Diego teams, Mindy, take them when they're down and fade them when they're good. Fade them when they're getting attention here. They still have some defense. They're still going to claim to have decent defense. I don't think they have as good a defense as last year, and this is my team. So I already, can make fun of the offense for sure. But Maiden is, he's not good. He'll throw it all. They think he might be good, and look, I'm a big fan of Coach Lindley for sure, and I hope that he can do the job here. I hope he can build an offense. I hope he can build a team. I hope he can go on to be the coach of the team one day. I'd rather see Hoke. I didn't want Hoke necessarily to be the guy to come in here and come back to the Aztecs. I don't think it was working out necessarily. I think he can get it done in this conference, in this whatever it is in the future. In this conference right now, he can't even get this done now. So there are problems with San Diego State. We will take them here plus 25.
Yeah, there we go. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm being honest, right? Just this will be Oregon State's another breakout perform. They're already having some great games. This one opened 22, went as low as 21, now all the way up to 25. Could it even go higher? The reported steam came in on Oregon State and the over. And quite frankly, that's the way I'm looking too on the total. I think is over here. It opened 48.5, was as low as 46.5, and now it's 48. All right. South Carolina and Georgia here in this one. Mindy, Georgia. Who do you got number 1, Mindy, Georgia or Texas?
I like Georgia. But Texas, if I take a look at strength of schedule for like the next 10 games, it's pretty darn easy. So I think Texas can make a heck of a run at the national title here so far. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if it's getting Alabama early. I think the quarterback is going to make his way through. I think Alabama's going to wind up being pretty good by the end of the season.
Well, against South Carolina. Thank you. Well, thank you. Yeah, I was going to try to avoid the question.
No.
Right. Well, let's give still going to have experience with Georgia necessarily, and I don't know if I was asking. I'm glad you answered it the way you did, because I was kind of thinking that maybe the poll, because maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. And we did see some kind of conflicting polls now but again, I think they're 1 and 1A. I would guess at this point, considering. Right now, but maybe there's still an experience factor with Georgia. There are certainly too many pieces. I think I don't think the teams are overwhelmingly dominant over the teams just below them. That an upset or two couldn't happen in a playoff scenario. I'm not totally overjoyed with the two teams, but I would take the experience, I guess, of Georgia having been there, done that, and Texas. Finally living up to the expectations of how many years have we waited for the Longhorns to be back, and they still got to stay there. I mean, we can't just say they're back.
They do have the easy strength of schedule the next 10 games, so they can stay up there a while,
Well, they are back as far as like they are going to be a player in this season no matter what. I mean, especially with given that schedule. But again, they're Texas, so you figure something, what's going to happen along the way. So, right. Okay, well, let's take a look at Georgia with a 4-touchdown favorite against South Carolina. That's still asking a lot, maybe, but it's still Georgia, number 1 or 1A here against the Gamecocks, 4-touchdown favorite. Got a lot of 4-touchdown favorites, and promise you this. Maybe you did. I don't know if you looked ahead, Mindy. I promise you next week it gets a lot better.
Good
schedule. It gets real good, actually.
Good. Yeah. I mean, everyone's kind of making their money here early on in the season with these matchups. But I think Georgia just totally rolls in this one. South Carolina didn't really impress me much. Versus North Carolina, I thought South Carolina would do a little bit better, especially with the experience there at the quarterback position. I got Georgia by like 30 in this one. I think they get the number. I'll take them.
Yeah, they opened 27.5. It sits 27.5, but it did go up to as high as 30.5 and was as low as 26 at various locations throughout the country. I'm tracking all the action through the odds screen that I use. So I look at all the major books and see where the line has moved from. So, yeah, I would think that maybe Georgia can. It looks to be so close to me at 4 touchdowns. I just can't gamble on it, trying to pinpoint it there. So for me, I'm definitely going under. I think South Carolina. Look, I understand. I get it. You put up, 30 points a game so far. If anything, as far as what you were asking me about Georgia, Mindy, it's about the defense, right? I mean, what they've given up so far, 10 points in 2 games. So they haven't even covered yet. They haven't covered in those 2. One was
because they gave 42 last week.
Yeah, was it a push? I don't know.
Almost got it.
Was it a push? Both games though went under so far. I just figure South Carolina's got like maybe they can get. If they get 2 touchdowns, I guess it's going to be hard for me to get there. But I'm 10 or 14, and then Georgia. Maybe they'll if they get 42, I might be in trouble, but I'm going to hold them to about 35 or 38 here. I'm going to take the under in this one. Mindy lays the points with Georgia, and it looks like maybe there are a few more comments here, or let me see, or maybe there's some conversation I'm just missing in the chat. No, there's definitely a little bit more commentary here with one of the top teams in the country. Blackhawk Bully never betting against Georgia. Jamar maybe going over here. Lewis. Okay. Oh, here come the plays. That's what a couple of the messages. Is that our play? Is that our plays?
Yeah, that's our plays today. Diamondbacks, Brewers today. Boom, winners.
Okay.
2-0.
Okay, well, that's fine. Well, remember, we only did 5 games, so that's fine. That's 40%.
That's why I said, well, we might have to give ourselves a little bit more time.
Did have I think we had a football or 2, but those are for Saturday. We'll package those.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you want me to recap?
No. Those will be, those will be chopped up. We have plenty of time. These are for today. Diamondbacks money line, Brewers money line. So yeah, because we're gonna look at 10 more games tomorrow, and maybe even a few more if we see any that we like or missed, or your suggestions. Join us in the Discord, and if you want to see a game, because otherwise we're just going to cover the big matchups. Like I said, it's college football. It's going to be some good games, Mindy, but these are not the best games, the best schedule for this week. This will take just a little bit, just a moment here before we get into some great matchups. All right, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages. From Mindy and I, it's going to be about Major League Baseball today for us, for sure. We'll have packages up there coming up
soon.
I thought I brought it up. Sorry about that. I couldn't see. Oh, there we go. Right. At Tony'sPicks.com, our premium picks. Check out the handicappers. Check out the handicapper leaderboards. I was just 10-2. It was unders and dogs in the NFL, Mindy. Right. So I went 10-2, of course, with my premium picks in the NFL. Pretty hard to beat that record right now from our group, but we did have some standouts so far. Just wanted to kind of, if I could point it out, because I was proud of my results here. Well, all right, forget it.
Recalculating.
Yeah, okay, there it is. This week, 10-2. Pravi, 9-3. So let's give everyone their due. Collins Brown, 7-2 in the NFL. Joseph Schultz, 4-0. VIP, 4-0. Mindy, plus 368 units as well, going 8-4, 67%. You'll take that all year.
That's right.
I know. Daniel, Nick Bartini, 75%. So that was just me sabotaging the promo because I was happy with that 10-2 performance in the NFL to start the season with my premium picks, the best picks we have. We put over there on the website, Mindy. So please subscribe to our packages. My NFL package, I'll reduce it every week. I'll reduce it by at least 1/10 or so every week, so you can get on board and with even a good record. All right, great job, great show, everybody. More tomorrow. We'll get into just look at the good matchups there in college football and be ready. We'll have 5 more games in Major League Baseball plus the WNBA playoffs. Who's going to win?
Got the Lynx versus the Sun and the Sky versus the Aces.
Okay, great. I'll be ready for those, and hopefully you guys will be as well. Catch you tomorrow.
Good job, Mike.
More morning steam. Seemed like a lot of work for just 2 picks. I know we got the college ball, Mindy, but appreciate you very much.
Yep.
For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.